Hey, Chad here once again, stressfreelandlord.com, and then my blog over at stressfreelandlord.com/blog. And what I wanted to talk to you about in this video is how to be a good landlord. As we've said in the past that I've told you, you have to approach this as a business. This is not just something that you can, throw around, hey, I'm a landlord, go rent out a property, and everything's great, the cash rolls in every month. You need to think of this as a business, and you need to think of how to build plans of success. One way, shameless plug here, stressfreelandlord.com, my ebook, Stress-Free Landlording, the ultimate guide for landlords who want to be profitable and stress-free. So now that my shameless plug's out of the way, what I wanted to do was, tell you about how to be a good landlord. One of the things I've done in my business that has been critical, that's been huge, it's just really helped me take my business to the next level, and that's journaling. Now you may say, journaling, what am I? I'm not a 10-year-old girl. I want to be a landlord, or I am a landlord. No, what it is writing down the events that happen. Writing down that plan, whether it be bullet points or in long form, writing the story of what happened, and being able to go back to that and find out what worked, what didn't work. I started doing this very early, about 6-7 months after I become a landlord. I dealt with a few people, a few issues, and I started thinking, what would be helpful for me to remember what happens and to log what happens and to see, like, okay, this happened in the past, and I'm trying to use my memory to go, okay, what did I do? What did I say? How did the steps I take come to a resolution, or did it make it worse? So what you can do is, whether you grab just a legal pad here, you have your iPad, you have your laptop, Word process document, Excel spreadsheet, or you like to just write it out. I use a basic college ruled notebook that I get from Staples. And with that, I only journal my property information. When I talk to a tenant and there might be an issue with something, I just note the property and the date, and maybe some bullet points in there. And if I need to, maybe some sub bullet points that explain a little more of the situation. And then I write once I finally come to a resolution, I write the resolution out. Now, what that allows me to do is come back to that. 6 months from now, 8 months from now, the tenant calls up and says, hey, we talked about this, you said you were going to do this, or I said I would do this, and I can go back to that, and I don't have to use my memory. I can go back and say, you know what, that day we spoke, I wrote this down, and here's what we discussed, and here was what we came out with. Now, I can also use that if a situation with another tenant arises. I can look back and say, when did I have something like this happen? Oh, I remember over at 123 Main Street, I had a similar situation 2 years ago. So I can go back and kind of see that. You want to build a plan of success. Like I said, being a landlord is a business. It's a great, worthy endeavor. You're helping people with a place to live while you're gaining financially. It's awesome. It is unbelievable. But if you just go about it with this ho-hum attitude and just, I'll fly by the seat of my pants, I'll deal with this when it happens, that's exactly the kind of results you're going to have. You're going to be dealing with things as they happen. Instead of creating resolutions, you're going to be all stressed out over here with, how do I fix this? What do I do? Maybe make a hasty decision that doesn't work. Maybe put yourself in a bad predicament. But having that journal that doesn't take much time to do, to go back to, is going to help you become successful every time something like this happens. And it's always good to have things written down and dated so that you can kind of go back to them and have those. So I challenge you to go out, get yourself a notebook, or set up a document and a folder in your on your laptop or your iPad, and write these things out every time you have one of these situations. You're going to find that anytime an issue arises, how much faster you can make that resolution happen. Another great one that I love in my journals that I write is if something goes wrong at a property. The furnace isn't working, they hear this strange noise. I write that down, and then once my super duper maintenance guy or one of my great maintenance team people goes out, my contractors fixes something, I write down what it was and what it cost. Now, the next time something like that happens, or another tenant calls and has something similar, I can go back. Right away, I know what it's going to cost me. I know what the answer probably is. And when I call my contractor and say, just like on 123 Main Street, 5, 6, 7 Main Streets having the same issue with this, and remind them that, last time I know we only paid this for it. So you can get yourself together, you can build that plan. And in that book, you are putting together how to be a good landlord. You are being a good landlord by being the best at your business. So, I challenge you to do this. I would love to hear your comments below here. If you've got a great story of how a journal has helped you and your landlording business, hit me up, man. stressfreelandlording@gmail.com. Right here's my email address. Hit me up and write me a 400 to 500 word little article on it. I'm going to drop it right on the website and tell the world about it, because I use you as a guest post to tell how your challenges turned into success by using this journal. So I challenge you to do that. I want you to be profitable. I want you to be successful. And most of all, I want you to be stress-free, because it's a great place to be when you're stress-free. Let me tell you, I'm there a lot in my business because of these systems I built, and I want you to be there too. So I wish you the most profitable of weeks, and I look forward to hearing from you of your successes.